Hey guys, I did a video a few months ago on something called cytokines, so please do watch the video again. It's on my YouTube and it's all about explaining what happens when you get the C word. So I just want to explain what happens when you get a virus or a toxin or a pathogen that comes into your body. Your body, it's naturally like you start to get symptoms, right? So symptoms can vary from person to person, but it could be fatigue, it could be the aches and the pains in the joints, maybe even like some gut pain, headaches, fever, like those kind of symptoms that come along with kind of like virusy flu things. So this happens because your immune system is working to get the invader out of your body. And the way it does that is by producing these cytokines. So watch that video that I've made on this before. So the cytokines come along to kind of get that invader out of your body. It's working to heal your body. But the problem is, if your body isn't good at getting toxins out, which the majority of the world today, because we don't have good gut health and liver health and kidney health and everything, the body can't do its job efficiently. So the pathogens can kind of linger in your body a lot longer than they should be. And unfortunately, this is where you have huge amounts of inflammation from these cytokines. And it's real bad amounts of inflammation, like it's a fire going on inside your system. And when this fire is not put out by certain things, it can kill you. So I want you to imagine that your body ends up getting a virus, or it could be a bad bacteria or a pathogen or something, and your immune system is the first thing that will start to notice it. So it comes along and it wants to, and it sees the foreign invader, and it comes along with these cytokines, like a little kind of Pac-Man, to get rid of the toxins or the virus. And it's only when the body cannot do its job efficiently because you are too toxic that the inflammation will continue to linger in your body. Otherwise, it would just naturally go away on its own, and you would have those symptoms, the fever and stuff, and you feel fine again. But it's those people who are actually getting very, very sick from this toxin, the virus, that are struggling because their body cannot get rid of toxins on its own. It needs support. So where does the support come from? It comes from things that you need to be eating. As I mentioned, go back to the video on the cytokines that I've done previously. So you need to be having high dose amounts of vitamin C. Very important. We've got to lower those cytokines and help. We also need to be getting vitamin D3 and K2. We also need to be getting more zinc into our diets. We also have those medicinal mushrooms. We also have things like L-glutamine, which I've mentioned also reduces the cytokine storms in our body. There are certain things that we take to reduce the storm in our body. Now, the other thing is, I want you to look at your gut health as well, because you do need to be thinking about your diet and what kinds of foods you're feeding yourself with. So if you keep eating sugar, because sugar's a feeder. If you keep eating dairy, because dairy's a feeder, these are inflammatory foods. You need to reduce inflammation, so you need to eat less of the inflammatory foods, like sugar, dairy, meat as well, and gluten can be horrendously inflammatory. So this is what you need to look at. The foods you're eating, are they foods that create inflammation, or are they foods that are anti-inflammatory? Now, there is a problem there because a lot of people have leaky gut. So if you have leaky gut, you can have a food intolerance to a healthy food because your gut is leaking. It's not simple, right? It's not simple. But this is what I'm trying to explain to people. There's many detox pathways you have to look at, which is your skin, your liver health, your gut health, and your kidney health. And your bowels, obviously, we have to move. These are things that need to be working well as well for you to be well. And if that's not working, then we can't get you back to health. So changing your diet is essential to be well. Otherwise, you're not going to get well. And also taking the supplements and learning how to rest as well. And if you're getting the symptoms, it's because your immune system is working to get that pathogen out of your body. That is the symptoms right there. So if you're feeling fatigued right now, you've got a headache, these are symptoms that your immune system is trying to fight off the virus. If you're not getting symptoms, because we've heard this as well, where people who've not had symptoms and have died, your immune system is not working, because symptoms are a sign of good immunity. So think of it like that. Like, we need to put a positive step on things. There's so much negativity out there right now. If you develop signs as your body's way of detoxifying the virus out of you, All you need to learn is what to do to get better. That is the most important thing. And this is the advice that everybody needs to be learning right now is immune health. What do you need to actually fight off viruses or pathogens or whatever it is? Like cytokines are also produced for people who have autoimmune diseases. And this is me. I'm in that little box there of the autoimmune category. And that's why I know so much about these things. I also have a client that I'm dealing with at the moment who has Lyme disease. They also are producing these cytokines because they have an invader inside their body. And that's what's happening. You have an invader and your body is just trying to help you. But you've got to give yourself a little bit of help here, guys, as well. You can't just put a mask on and think everything's going to be okay. You've got to take supplements that are going to help take that inflammation down. Whenever something happens in your body, it's inflammation. I keep saying that word over and over and over again. It's in my book as well. And that's a word that I want you to stick inside your mind because chronic inflammation kills. There is too much negativity out there at the moment within the media and not enough positivity. Like they're not giving advice to people who may get the virus and say like, if you were to get the virus, this is what you need to be doing. There's no advice of that. It's just self-quarantine. What if you don't know anything about health? I might self-quarantine and eat my way to death with McDonald's and chips and chocolates and drink copious amounts of alcohol. And then that's not going to get me back to wellness, is it? There's just no good advice being given on health. That's what I'm trying to help people with here. So learn about these cytokines. I've mentioned this in a video before because that is what will kill you in the end. Not the virus. It's what's happening inside your body because you're not giving it the right things to heal. All right. Peace always and take good care of your health.